First impressions. Hey church family, I'm glad that you were able to join with us today on our YouTube channel to look at this video on first impressions. This video could easily go out to our first impression team, and I hope that they're going to watch that. They do a very good job at this first impression ministry, but I think this is really something that all of us can participate in. We don't have to be part of a designated team in order to minister in this way. And so I wanted to just share a few things with you on this video about the importance of first impressions. The statistics, the studies show us that people make a decision on whether they're going to attend a church on a second time, the first 6 to 10 minutes after their arrival. So what that means is basically once their foot hits the pavement, their first impression starts. That time clock is ticking. They won't get to the sermon before they probably make the decision. They won't get to the worship service as far as the song service before they make that first impression decision. And so it's up to us and how we treat them in our church to make sure that we want them to come back. We want them to be back, and we want them to feel like they are wanted. So I wanted to look at a few of the different principles that we can participate in and just kind of remember. The first thing that you and I want to make sure that we do when we're here is to smile. Sometimes we get driven, task-oriented, we've got a mission, we're on a mission, and sometimes it's just kind of normal. We just don't smile. We don't think about it. But a smile is the best way to greet a person. It's one of the ways that we receive them. And so we want to think about it this way. Am I glad to be here this morning? Well, if I'm glad to be here, my face is probably going to show that. If I'm not, well, I've got to work on that and make sure that I am happy to be here. But secondly, we want to portray that we're happy for that guest or even that other longtime member. We want to let them know that we're glad that they're here today. So one of the things we need to remember is to smile, okay? Smile. Secondly is when we communicate with people, it's important to have good eye contact. When you look into their eyes, you can kind of see, hey, what's going on. You may not know, hey, if they're having trouble in their marriage or if something happened at work this week, but you can look into a person's eyes and typically tell, hey, is something going on? Are they sad? Are they happy? Are they glad to be here? But also, are they tracking? Are they receiving, what we are sending? So a third thing is a good handshake, okay? We want to shake people's hands if they're comfortable with doing that. Now, when I say handshake, I want to just encourage us on hugs, okay? Let's make a rule, no first-time hugs. If a person comes, it's their first time, we don't know them well to get into their personal space. And so a handshake is great, not so much a hug. And the other thing, while we're on the topic of hugs, people like to hug, but not everybody likes to hug. So if you go in to give someone a hug, a side hug is great, but if they bristle up, if they step back, what they're communicating is they're not comfortable with that. And so that doesn't mean that we just kind of forget that, blow them off, continue to pursue them. We want to let us know, hey, you know what? They're not comfortable with a hug. And if they bristle up, if they pull back, we don't need to try to hug them again. Okay, we need to stick with that handshake. And so that's important. We don't want people walking away feeling uncomfortable when they came. The last thing I would say this morning is, on this video, whether you watch it morning or evening or afternoon, is try to say their name at least 2 times, especially if they're brand new. I think it was Dale Carnegie that coined a phrase that went something like this, that a person's favorite word is their own name, okay? And so if that's true, boy, they would love to hear their name. And so if you say it twice, once it tells them, hey, I'm tracking, I know kind of who you are, and you say that name, it's an encouragement. But 2, the better chance of you remembering that name when you mention it at least 2 times. So first impressions are very important. We want to make sure that we do a fantastic job. I think we do a great job at Calvary, but it's always good to just kind of reconnect on some of these basics to make sure that we're doing what we can do to exceed expectations and make people feel wanted. Hope you have a great day. We'll see you Sunday.